Hi everyone, my name is Krissy and I'm the Director of Education and Outreach for the Children's Museum Easton. And I'm here today to read Inch by Inch by Leo Leone and to share with you an activity to go along with the book. Let's get started. Inch by Inch. One day, a hungry robin saw an inchworm, green as an emerald, sitting on a twig. He was about to gobble him up. "Don't eat me. I am an inchworm. I am useful. I measure things." "Is that so?" said the robin. "Then measure my tail." "That's easy," said the inchworm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. "Just think," said the robin, "my tail is 5 inches long." And with the inchworm, he flew to where other birds needed to be measured. There they go. The inchworm measured the neck of the flamingo. See a long neck? He measured the toucan's beak. The legs of the heron. Such long legs. The tail of the pheasant. And the whole hummingbird. One morning, the nightingale met the inchworm. "Measure my song," said the nightingale. "But how can I do that?" said the inchworm. "I measure things, not songs." "Measure my song or I'll eat you for breakfast," said the nightingale. Then the inchworm had an idea. "Oh, I'll try," he said. "Go ahead and sing." I wonder what he'll do. The nightingale sang and the inchworm measured away. There he goes. He measured and measured. Inch by inch, he keeps measuring until he inched out of sight. The end. So he outsmarted the nightingale. I love that story. The end. So now I have an activity to share with you. Well, here is a STEAM activity to do that goes along with Inch by Inch. And if you remember, the inchworm was doing a lot of measuring. So the concept of measuring can be a little tricky for friends who are just learning to read and to identify numbers and also letters, and also to understand the concept of measuring. So here is something that you can do to introduce the idea of measuring. It's the idea of introducing non-standard measuring. So standard measurement is using things like tape measures or using things like rulers. But it's a lot to ask of our little friends to identify the numbers and understand the concept of reading and understand the concept of measuring. So instead we use non-standard measuring objects. So What I do is, my hand's a little big for the paper, so I'm going to turn it sideways. But what I do usually is I'll ask a friend to trace their hand. My hand's a little bit bigger than most of my friends, but I'll trace my hand like this, and then I'll ask them something like, let's see how many paper clips long my hand is. And we'll start at the base of my hand where my drawing starts, and we'll put paper clips. See how many paper clips from top to bottom reaches from the bottom to the top. I don't know if you can see that. We'll go all the way to the top. My middle finger is the longest. So it's just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that my hand is just about 6 paper clips long. That's really long. So I know 6 paper clips. And if you're able to write, or if you have a friend, a mom or dad or grown-up that can help you, I know that I have 6 paper clips long, my fingers, my hands, and I'm going to use blocks. I wonder how many blocks, Legos, blocks, whatever you have, or maybe something else, Matchbox cars, whatever you might be able to find, rocks. And you do the same thing. How many blocks? Anything that you can find. But just so that you get the idea, or grown-ups, just so that they get the idea of how measuring starts, the concept of it. So anything that you can find around the house, paper clips I put on the paper, paper clips, cotton balls, blocks. We have used pasta in our house before, anything, as long as it's consistent in the length. And it's a nice way to slowly introduce the concept of measuring without getting into the standardized measuring tools. So a fun one to try at home. So hopefully you have fun with this and get out and practice your STEAM activities.